everybody, and thank you for joining us. Thank you for your patience as we get started a few minutes after the hour. We have 3 of our NDSU Pro Day participants joining us today, and we are beginning with offensive lineman Dillon Radunz. We do have several questions in the queue already that we will get to. If you would like to ask a question, please go ahead and raise your hand. We'll take as many questions as we can get to in the time that we have with our athletes today. First, let's go to Doug Ferrar. Doug?
Hey, Dillon, thanks for doing this. Couple questions. As far as players you would compare yourself to in the NFL, are there guys that you see yourself as now or in the future, or offensive tackles that really influenced you? And then what have you been working on in this pre-draft process and working with training?
Yeah, so I watch a lot of guys. A guy I've been told I look a lot alike by Coach Paul Alexander is Jake Matthews, left tackle for the Atlanta Falcons. He thinks my play style is kind of like him. A guy I watch a lot is going to be David Bakhtiari or Taylor Lewan, some of those guys. I just love the way Bakhtiari plays the game, just his uniqueness and stuff like that. Just his ability to be successful, and he's a great one, obviously. And then right now, just working on hand placement. Always working on that hand fight, working on leverages, stuff like that, in my off-season training. So, and then with that comes strength and all the other stuff that you just work on in the off-season. But mostly it's just a few technique things with my hands, and then just getting the feet in the right place. Chase Callahan.
Ross Uglum?
Hey, Dillon, thanks for the time.
No problem.
What are you hearing most from NFL clubs right now, positionally? I mean, where do most of the guys that you're talking to see you playing at this next level?
All over the place. I think a lot of them can see me as a true left tackle. A lot of people like me as a true left tackle. I feel like a team should try me out there. That's where I'm most comfortable. That's where I'm most confident. And then if that doesn't work, then we'll go from there and we'll move around. But, I mean, I've heard left tackle, left guard, right tackle, right guard. And then just having being able to snap in my tool belt will be a thing. Nobody's going to draft me to be a center, but just being able to be a plug-and-play guy either in one of those positions is kind of the versatility is kind of why they want to draft me, just to see things and move things around in training camp if needed.
You just run me through like the range of emotions or how you feel, watching this group that without COVID you would have been a part of on Saturdays.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just watching the guys. I text the guys every single Saturday after the game, and just wish I could be there with them. Wish I would always be playing football with them, especially Cordell Volson. I was tight with him. I'm always gonna want to be playing Bison football. There's something different about it, but ultimately this was the best decision for me and my family, and just for my future. But yeah, it's gonna be an emotional time. I was hanging around these guys. I'm gonna enjoy it as much as I can, and it's definitely something I'm very prideful of for sure.
Next question from Pranav, please.
Dillon, pro days are obviously more important as the scouting combine is now canceled. So how do you think you performed today?
I think I performed well. I mean, at times I can always get better. You can always get stronger, stuff like that. But with the time or with this pro day, I think I performed the way I wanted to. Obviously, I could improve a 40 time or improve times here and there. But ultimately, I'm happy with how I competed today. So.
Thanks, Dillon.
Yeah.
Jacob Infante?
Hey, Dillon. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. You've recently had the opportunity to go down to Mobile to perform the Senior Bowl. Can you speak to that experience, especially considering these weird circumstances, only being able to play one game in 2020?
Yeah, because of these circumstances, I'd have to say it was fun. It was the most fun I've had in a while, just being able to play football after only playing one game and however many months was like 10 months, being able to only play one game since that championship. So being able to practice and play against all those really good players, those high caliber players, a lot of those guys are going to get drafted, being able to compete and show my skill off that way. It was just a fun time down there. Got to experience Alabama, never been there before. Got to go out to eat at some restaurants there. It was just overall, it was a fun time doing what I love, playing football. I had a blast.
Thank you.
Jennifer?
I'm sorry, what was the last part? Pretty familiar. So I've been working with Joe Staley. That's pretty much the playbook we've been repping when we like practice the calls for going to the next level, because college calls and NFL calls are a little bit different. So having Joe Staley as a coach, I mean, obviously that's what he knows. He was there for 13 years. He was able to teach me a lot. I was able to pick his brain. So I'm pretty familiar. Obviously, he didn't give us the keys to the kingdom because he can't, but he told us a lot of the calls and stuff like that. So pretty familiar, actually, and just watching his play style and learning from him and trying to incorporate that into my game too. So. Yeah, for sure. I think it is. Just my ability to move and cut off of reaction and stuff. I think that shows my 5.10.5 and my L cone. I think are are some of the best. As those are the areas I excel in. So I think just moving in those short distances in small spaces, just being able to do that is definitely one of my strengths. Yep.
Steve from the Associated Press.
Thank you for doing this. I was just wondering, I've seen pretty much all the draft prospects from FCS schools decided against playing this spring. I was just wondering what went into your decision, and could you imagine what it would be like to try to prepare for the draft while also actually playing in the season?
Yeah, ultimately it just comes down to athletes taking care of their bodies, because ultimately, yeah, you can go out and have fun and do that, and there's a certain purity to that. But next thing you know, some guy tears his ACL in the spring, and now he misses out the spring season, he misses out the fall season, then he has to wait another whole year and a half, year and 6 months just to play football again. So it comes down to that's one of the biggest factors. Even guys who opt out of the spring season who are still playing FCS football, like it's a huge decision just whether or not you want to take care of your body that way, or if you're not scared but just afraid that might happen. So that definitely was one of the big factors with all the guys opting out, just being injured for that long and missing that much football. And on top of it, if you're not injured, then you're playing, who knows, eight games. You go to the playoffs, maybe 12 games this spring, and then you turn around, and if you are going to be a draft prospect, then you're going to be playing, who knows, maybe if you go to the playoffs, you're going to be playing 16, 17, 18, 19 games next season. So you're just playing that much football in a short period of time, and it's just not good for a body, especially at this high level of play. So that's probably the biggest factor in going into this, just being able to take care of your body and being able to perform at a high level for so long. So,
Eric Peterson.
Hey Dylan, what do you think you accomplished most today, or what did you like with the way you performed today at Pro Day specifically?
Just get my name out there, getting the numbers out there, just proving to guys like this is what I'm going to be able to do. I am athletic, 32-inch vertical, 9.4 broad isn't the best, but it's out there. And then the L cone is something I really liked. Just getting a 7.2 on that, just being able to be in that higher class of offensive linemen that do that. Just proving that I am agile. The 40 is not the best offensive lineman in the draft, but certainly not the worst. And just being able to prove that, yeah, I'm going to be agile. I'm going to be able to do all this stuff. And just, like I said, get my name out there, getting film out there is always good.
You discussed earlier how important the Senior Bowl was, but how important was this Pro Day, especially with a guy like Trey Lance drawing all the attention he did? And you got to play, perform a bunch of GMs and scouts because of that.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, especially for a guy like Trey who did. I wish he could have played in the Senior Bowl. He would have balled out. He would have done amazing, but fortunately, this is where he gets to showcase. So it's huge for Trey. This is where he gets to show his arm. I think he's got a lot of good film, so people can see that. But just guys just wanted to see how he's progressing and stuff with his arm, and I think he's done a great job. I think he balled out today. And then, yeah, I mean, having a teammate that's high caliber and he's going to get drafted in the first round is huge. Having more guys here to see me, even if they're here to see Trey and they just happen to catch me out of the corner of the eye. I mean, the more the merrier. I'm happy with it. I think it was a good turnout. We had a lot of guys here, and yeah, it was a good pro day.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Fran
you.
Duffy.
Hey Dylan, so we talked about you going down to the Senior Bowl. Who was the toughest guy that you saw day to day throughout the course of the week of practice that you felt really kind of stood out that you see the most?
Yeah, the D tackle from Washington was really good. He sat out a few practices, but he was really good the first day. He balled out. UCLA D tackle, I can't pronounce his last name. I always feel bad for that, but he was really good. He was a baller. He got like defensive lineman of the week. And then I think it's just the way things lined up. I went against Weaver from Pitt a lot. He was a really good player. We had a lot of battles one-on-ones. He won a few, I won a few, so stuff like that. I'd say those three were probably the top guys I always saw. And like I said, everybody there is high caliber player. I just happened to go against those guys the most and felt those guys' presence the most for sure.
And then my last question for you, if I can just follow up, would be who's next for North Dakota State? Who's the next Bison that we're all going to be talking about a year from now that we're not discussing right now?
Well, I'm biased because I play with him, but Cordell Volson, and not even that I'm biased. It's he's going to be the next guy. He's the leader of the offense right now. I think he's the vet. He's the mauler. He's the hoorah rah guy. He's a really talented football player. I think he's having a great season. He's going to continue to have great seasons, and I think he'll be the next big name coming out here. But that's not to say who knows. We breed good players, and I think just Trey Lance and me we're just the next guys in line, and there's going to be next guys after us that are going to come. So I'm excited to see this team excel and this team improve, and there's going to be a lot of great players that come out of here.
Andrew Freeman.
Hey, Dylan, appreciate your time today. One of the most impressive things watching you down at the Senior Bowl was seeing your anchor in your pass protection. Is that something that you've been working on over the offseason and something that you think will strengthen your game when it's the NFL?
Yeah, I'm super fortunate that is just part of the athleticism, like just the way my hip functions like that, and just being able to catch the ball. Granted, I've learned to do that because my hands were bad, so I've learned to let guys inside, and then my anchor gets really good because I have to. So now I can if I fix my hands and then rely on my anchor too, then I feel like that's going to be a huge strength of mine at the next level, just being able to bend that way. But yeah, I think it's a huge strength. Definitely, I always can work on it. It always can be better. Like I said before, I watch Bakhtiari a lot. He's got a great anchor. He's able to do it well, and just that arc in the back and being able to bend the shin angle and your hips that way is always going to be good for an offensive lineman.
And then have the Chicago Bears shown any interest or had any discussion with you?
Right now, I can't really say what teams and stuff, just because some teams don't want it out there and all that stuff. But just know I talked to every single team at the Senior Bowl, so that every player did. So there's interest from all teams from everywhere. But it's just a matter of who I'll favor the most, or who will favor me the most, and stuff like that. So.
We have about 5 minutes left with Dillon Radunz, and we have a few more questions. We'll go to Tyler Jeffries, please.
Hey, Dylan, Tyler Jeffries from Top Fantasy. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I just want to ask you a quick question. Fast forwarding to when you get drafted, who is the number one guy you cannot wait to line up against?
Well, it'll be great to see which team I get drafted to. Depending on that team, obviously I'll be looking forward to going against all the guys in training camp. Just learning from. Hopefully, we'll have a vet DN or a really good DN there that I'll be able to go against. So that way, in training camp, I'll probably get pushed over a few times or learn from him, and maybe get some key pointers from him to learn how to be an elite tackle and what works. So that way, I can perform well during the season. But yeah, mostly just excited to get to know the teammates on my defensive end side, and then after that, I mean, when I'm playing against the guy, I mean, it'd be awesome to go against J.J. Watt. I watched him growing up, just his fire and how great of a player he's been. He'd be a really cool guy to go against and block for sure.
And congratulations on a great college career for the guys that are on Top Fantasy. We can't wait to watch where you go next.
Thank you.
Eric Branch.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, Joe Staley, the coach, what part of his personality I think stood out?
Yeah, so he's a great guy, great personality, like you said. Learning from him, we'll go back to the first part. Learning from him, the biggest part was, like I said, he's a 13-year vet. He knows the ins and outs of the game. Just picking his brain was what I learned from him the most, like the mental side of it. Obviously, I learned a lot of physical stuff from him, but picking his brain was huge. But yeah, Joe Staley, the coach, is awesome. Super fun-loving. We kind of call him the fun uncle. But also at the same time, I mean, he's super. He loves the game of football. Obviously, wish he could have kept playing, stuff like that. And everybody wishes they could play football forever, but Father Time is undefeated. Yeah, he sees the competitor in everybody. He's competitive. So I mean, if we're screwing up over and over again, yeah, he's fun-loving, but he'll get after us. He's yelled at us a few times, stuff like that. But overall, like I said, he was a fun uncle. He took care of us. It was fun to hang out with him. He's a great guy. I'm glad I was able to learn from him.
Russell?
Hi, Dillon. This is a fairly stacked tackle class. What would you say separate?
Oh, he muted.
Could you repeat the question, please, Russell?
Yeah, this is a true stacked tackle class. All the other players.
Let's go to Devin Fry, please. Devin?
Sorry. Feel bad.
Hi, it's actually Beth. Dillon, wondering what coaches have told you about guard, tackle, where they see you best fitting in, and maybe even some versatility that you bring.
Yeah, I mean, you covered it all right there. It's definitely going to be a versatile guy, and I think that's what is going to put me above a lot of guys is they're going to say, let's draft this left tackle, but ultimately, if we're not unsure about a few positions, we can plug and play him wherever he needs to go, right guard, right tackle, left guard. There are teams that have said, we see you as a true left tackle. There's a team that has said, we see you as a true right tackle, plug and play, go right away, and some guys are like, we want you as an outside zone guard. So we'll just see whatever team decides to take me and where we want to go with that. I was going to want to be a left tackle. That's just in my blood, but I'm also a team player. I learned that at NDSU. I want to win games. I want to keep this winning streak going. So ultimately, I'll play wherever they want me to, but I'm just excited to get the opportunity.
And I know we talked about it before, but NDSU's ability to make you that versatile player. They've sent plenty of O-linemen. They've played in plenty of places.
Yes. Yeah. NDSU has been huge in that, just shaping me from a 235-pound basketball player coming out of high school, just being able to create athleticism in me and just being able to put me at positions. I mean, I was in swinging gate, snapping the ball. I was taking practice reps at left guard, and I started on scout team as a right tackle. Just learning from the best here and learning from those guys and being able to be versatile was huge, learning from these guys.
We'll take our last question from Dom Izzo. Dom?
Dillon, just quickly, was today fun? Did you have a good time? And did it meet the expectations of what you thought it might be?
Always, yeah, and yeah, it did. Obviously, I'm a competitor. I'd always love to run faster. There's no doubt about that. I'd always love to bench more. I'll always say I had more in me and stuff like that. But I can't complain. It was fun. I had a good time. It was a good day. Got to communicate with NFL guys, NFL coaches. Got to be coached by them, do some drills by them. So overall, it was a great day. I had a blast.
Did you try not to put too much pressure on yourself? I know we chatted before the Senior Bowl about that. Was the pressure off, so to speak?
Yeah, it's always off. I mean, you always get those nerves, those butterflies, but ultimately, once you get out there, and even at the Senior Bowl, you get the butterflies right away. But once you get out there, you're just like, this is what I love to do. This is fun. So what now? What if I screw up? It doesn't matter. It's like Kobe Bryant always says, like, so what? You airballed, fix it now. I'll do the next thing. So it's whatever. What definitely wasn't perfect out there today, but definitely had a blast.
Thanks, bud.
Yep.
Nick Cousin, I saw you come in there. Do you still have a question? Go ahead.
Hey, Dylan, just wanted to ask, where do you think that you improved the most today?
You say improved?
Yeah.
Uh,
What do you think?
I think just the guys see me move, being able to see me agile and stuff off the field. I think my tape proves that I can move and I'm able to get myself in good positions. But just putting the numbers up and putting a number to the agility and stuff like that and just seeing me move is what I improve the most, just having guys see that part about me.
All right, Dylan, we don't have any other questions for you at this time. Thanks for joining us today, and good luck.
Thanks, everybody.